I love that intro. Welcome to the Geeks 31 Days of Horror for Halloween. This is Lil.
And this is Steve.
And tonight we're reviewing Wrong Turn 5 Bloodlines. Another Bloodline, Steve. We love the Bloodlines this year. Wrong Turn 5 Bloodlines, a group of college students on a trip to the Mountain Man Festival. What a bad idea. On Halloween in West Virginia, encounter a clan of cannibals. Starring the man himself, Mr. Doug Bradley,
Pinhead.
and others. Let's just say
That's
at
fine.
this point, it's others. So, Steve, what do you think of Wrong Turn 5? What's the fifth
wrong turn movie? You know, and we knew we were going to be in the weeds when we got into 3, 4, 5, and I was certain we were getting up close to a 0. But we're waiting until 6, as far as I'm concerned. This one, it was rough around the edges, but it did some cool stuff. They did not. We've been bitching about the CGI. You know what wasn't here? The weird CGI. I think there was in like one spot, but then they used dummies a little. They did.
Lot. It was in that stupid title credit that they did, the title
with the hand.
With the hand with it.
That was awesome.
But I'm saying before the hand,
that was awesome.
Before the hand, that's where you got the stupid CG blood splatter.
I'll give you that.
And I was worried about it, but then that didn't really come back.
But when the hand is on the screen, this is what the movie gives you. There's the severed hand on the screen, like curled up, and then it says "wrong turn" and then the hand goes for 5
Bloodlines.
So good. That is awesome. That was. And I was like, maybe we're in for something. And we had terrible acting. We had characters that didn't make any sense doing questionable things. We had lots of TNA. We had some pretty, egregious sex scenes. But we had some gore for the ages. They use some farm equipment in here that I was just like, that scene ended and I was just like, I was just sitting there stunned, like, wow, that was really good. That was incredible.
Our cannibal friends really in this one played with their food a lot.
Although I liked it, thought that was really good. It's like a high sidekick for me.
High sidekick, all right.
It's a high sidekick. I mean, I again, bad acting.
Except for
Doug decisions. Bradley. I think that the setting of this Mountain Man Festival was great, except for the fact that they never went there. You were just stuck in this weird backlot of a town that was very empty and was very, very fake. So that was a little off-putting. Like, why even bother setting up this whole festival if you're not even going to touch base? I thought, you're going to get like a bunch of people and you're going to get like mass kind of killing. No, not the case. They just quickly move. The whole town's abandoned except for the sheriff and these fucking people. These 5 people.
Because it was filmed in Bulgaria.
All that being said, the kills and the gore and the practical effects for me, and this being part 5, high sidekick.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm not going to argue. I mean, I had a lot of fun with this one, a lot more than I thought I was going to. Especially as you talked about the farm equipment, just the some of the scenes were pretty graphic. There's the one guy who was tied to the bed of the truck where they were just beating him. That was a good one. But yeah, a lot of people made not a lot of people. One main character was just an idiot, and just I kind of couldn't wait for him to get off screen, and thank God he did. But the menace of Doug Bradley, and that's what I loved. And the end, right there, like all of a sudden it was just like, oh man, like he's manipulating everyone, he's talking to everyone, and like he's hamming it up too. Like I'm not saying that he's sitting there like being Shakespeare in a horror movie. He's hamming it up, he's doing what he's doing, but like he had a menace to him, and I love that because not a lot of times you see these guys in the prosthetic costumes. You see, you've seen them in a couple movies now, and it's par for the course. But seeing him bring that gravitas to it and that menace to it, because he's actually speaking to the soon to be victims. Really loved it, and let's get into some spoilers with that.
Spoilers. Spoilers.
How many times in movies do we watch the villain, the main villain, explain his plan, tell what he's going to do, tell how this is all going to play out, and then of course it doesn't, right? Someone comes in, they saves the day, the final girl puts a kibosh on the plans, whatever happens. Doug Bradley lays it out, and it goes down exactly as he says it will. And then credits roll. I mean, it's down to the finest detail, even with that poor girl with her eyes out.
Oh,
down
my
to
God.
the
that was the one
detail.
I totally felt terrible for, because it's like
he said what was going to happen to her.
Yeah.
And judging by the fact that everything else is happening the way he said it was, I tend to believe him.
Yep. And then the opening is, like you said, a good scene where these these guys are in the mountain man costumes, and we get the sex scene and everything, and then it goes off to the reporter girl running in the woods. And
who had the hand that made 5? Who had the hand?
I thought it was a reporter girl, wasn't it?
Was it?
I think so, because that's who Doug Bradley thought.
I thought the 5 happened and then it went to the sex scene. Maybe I'm tripping. I don't think the movie just started with a sex scene.
I thought it did.
See, I just watched it like 2 days ago. Now I gotta look at it.
I watched it last night, so that's
what the hell.
Like, now I can't remember, but either or, good kills. I love the kill because, again, Doug Bradley shows up and you're like, oh, is he a good guy in this? Because he's like protecting her. And then, nope, just eviscerates her.
It is the news reporter, but that happens before the
sex scene.
But it is the news reporter lady, the one in the yellow.
Yeah.
But they do like some setup. Like they show the town. It kind of almost felt like they were leaning towards like a low budget Scream with like the overhead shot of the town with all the people walking through and the car, trying to get through the crowd. I was like, oh, they could do something with this fake little town. This would be really cool. They don't.
No, the town is wasted. But again, this is a really low budget horror film. I mean, this is the 5th one in this franchise. It's not one that.
And it's got continuing characters. And this is a direct sequel from the last one. They bring up the sanatorium. The characters look the same. So.
Yeah, they talk about like this entire area being abandoned. That's why the mountain men.
So, okay. So I'm trying to do the timeline now, right?
This is part 2.
Part 5. Because
part 4 was the beginning. Part 5 is part 2. I guess we'll see.
Part 3. We've got to see what happens with part 6.
Yeah, we don't know where part 6 goes yet, so it could be.
But currently, it goes 4, 5, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah,
they're fast and the furious in this fucking franchise. These motherfuckers.
Basically. So let's just dive into some of the kills. So
does that mean Henry Rollins so far is at the end? Is at the end of our story?
Was he 3 or is he 2?
He was 2, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was 2.
Fuck. They're all blending together now.
Well, that's what happens when we watch so many of these. But we get some really good kills here, and I'm just gonna jump in. Like, I hate the main kid character.
Oh, the guy that wants to fight everybody.
Yeah,
kick your ass.
Yeah, my girlfriend's out there. Like, she has a really good kill. She's gonna go go to the jail because like they get arrested for beating up Doug Bradley because Doug Bradley is like kind of like
they hit him with the car. Like
they didn't hit him. They avoided him. He just dropped in the street. He just fell.
It looked like they clipped him, but
no. I rewatched that scene because I was like, did they actually hit him? Nope. He jumped out in front of the car on purpose so the car would swerve, and then he played possum to attack, and he was going to have the 3 were there ready with their arrows, but then the cops showed up and then arrested all of them. The one main kid had a whole big bag of ecstasy. I don't know what it was. It looked like a
Ecstasy, weed, all kinds of
gallon
stuff.
bag of whatever. I'm like, who carries that much stuff? Like that's
someone that wants to go to federal prison.
That's where he was headed. So they all in the jail. They let the friends out. It's the main kid, Doug Bradley, and some drunk guy with the sheriff. They're all up at, the rest of the police department is basically, keeping tabs on this festival, this music festival that's going on. They're comparing it to Burning Man, and it's hill folk. Everybody's dressed like the cannibals and running around and stuff. And fine, here's the setup, but it takes so long here. Like this part drags a bit.
It does drag,
but then we get into the kills. Then we get like
once the kills start.
Girlfriend's murdered right off the bat. Like she goes to get him food, and she's just gutted in the middle of the street. Real quick. The other friend leaves to go to the jail. The other two then are having sex, and all of a sudden, here comes more hillfolk breaking into their room. They capture this dude who is huge. I was like, this guy put up no fight, and he's a big dude. Like I was like, you're kind of weak. But this was the scene where I was just like, oof. They have him tied up to the back of the truck, and they just start breaking his legs. Like
he's laid out like back on the ground, face up, and they just start wailing on his shins, and they start to go. They break in half the wrong way. He's just screaming, and it's ugh.
And then they take him and they drop him out in the middle of the street by the sheriff's office, by the police station, whatever you want to call this, the jail, because it's like 3 jail cells. So they can see, and Doug Bradley's sitting here just the whole time. My boys are coming. And they run this guy over and just smash in front of him.
Great dummy shot. Great dummy practical shot. So good.
And then she lets everybody out of the jail except for Doug Bradley, and gets them all guns and everything. And it's like a cat and mouse game now here for a bit. Until they, for some odd reason, he wants to go find his girlfriend, even though he knows they're out there hunting him.
Yeah, so him and his buddy leave, and they get caught.
They get caught. And I love this. They buried him.
When it comes back, it was like Looney Tunes. His head sticking out of the ground. They're on a field. It's like, well, the one guy's chained to like a soccer goal.
Yeah.
And then the other guy's, the main guy, is like, I want to kick everybody's ass. He's just got his head poked out of the ground. And you're like, what's going to happen? And this fucking guy comes on with like a backhoe or
I don't even know.
Something that does like, it like drags lines in the dirt. It's just full of a row of round blades. I'm not a farmer. Sue me. I'm sorry. It's farm equipment. It's a big piece of machinery that looks very, very painful if I were to hit you.
And it's great. And it eviscerates his head.
I love the way like it goes towards him and then it swerves. It doesn't hit him. And he's like,
it comes from behind.
Oh God, thank God. And then it fucking lines right up behind him. And he's like, no. And then it was going. And I'm like, they're not going to do it. Dude. Oh my God. And they did it. It pulled his whole body out and roped. Oh man. And then the other guy, this dumbass, he was on a chain. He could have bobbed and weaved. He could have made it a little bit more difficult, but he just laid on the ground and took it.
Yep. But again, a good dummy scene, good dummy shots.
It was really, really good.
Doug Bradley's manipulating the one girlfriend who survived from her boyfriend, who she ended up at the jail. And this scene was brutal too, because like she finally gives in, gets him out, and he stabs her eyes out. And so she's sitting there crying with no eyes, can't see anything.
She goes stumbling out into the street, and that's when they get in a little gunfight. Pew pew pew.
Yeah. Well, and they get into a gunfight too because the cannibals capture the sheriff's husband, and he's like set up in this trap in his car, and they just eviscerate him as well. He gut him. You see his guts flying out.
Mhm.
and it's like more good gut scenes. I'm like, I'm liking this.
It's
But
good stuff.
I did think the sheriff was gonna, because she seemed like, even though she was making dumb choices, she went out. She was brave enough to go and call.
And then what about the fact that she got a hold of fucking Iron Fist on the phone and he didn't believe her?
Yeah, I was
That was
like,
Finn Jones.
I know, I couldn't believe it. I was like, what are we, stupid? I was like, oh man. But
The sheriff's death was crazy.
well, and Doug Bradley told him what was gonna happen.
I'm gonna duct tape this shotgun to your mouth, and it's gonna be rigged up with a string. So as soon as you drop your foot, it's gonna go off. I know you're not gonna want to drop your foot, so I'm gonna light the building on fire. It'll be up to you. You can choose whether you want to blow your face
burn to
off
death.
or you want to burn. And then he does it, and he leaves, and she's screaming with a shotgun taped to her face, and then she drops her foot, and her head blows off.
Yep, crazy.
What the fuck?
The other crazy part with Doug Bradley, what got me too, is like when he blinded that girl and she was sitting there crying, he was locked back in his jail and he was like yelling at her, manipulating her, telling her to run. He's like, he's like, I'm gonna catch you and I'm gonna kill you. And then he's like, you know what? No, I'm gonna catch you. I'm gonna fuck you. My boys are gonna fuck you. Then I'm gonna cut your tits off as trophies. And then I'm gonna kill you. And then she just like leaves the building blind, doesn't know how to get out as a run. And then this is the end scene. She hears a car coming. It's the pickup, not the pickup, or the tow truck that we've always seen. Mm-hmm. We're like, we know what it is. And the one, what three fingers comes out, grabs her like nicely, puts her right in the car, and then Doug Bradley is like, "Hello, gal," or whatever.
Welcome home, or something.
Yeah, or welcome home. And I was like, oh my god, could you imagine? That's the one that got me.
And then they leave. Credits. So we didn't have two people that lived. We did have one, but it's not a very, she's
not going to live long.
Yeah.
So there you go. Wrong Turn 5 again. Not terrible. I mean, we've seen.
Although this franchise, it's got some problems, but
yeah, it's not
the
bad. Worst. It's not the worst. We've seen very high highs from some franchises and some very low lows. This one's kind of been middling, but
with promise.
Yeah, not too low lows.
Even the worst movies have highlight kills, highlight scenes. Every single one of them has had a very
so far
good,
the worst
at least one good scene.
The worst one I'd say is probably 4 at this point with the snow. There's one in the snow. So
that had the fondue scene. Great scene.
It did. So, all right. Well, let us know what you thought of Wrong Turn 4. Hopefully you are enjoying these 31 Days of Horror this year with us. If you are, please join us more with these. Like, subscribe, comment. Go back and watch some of our previous 31 Days of Horror films because we got a lot. And sometimes we do more than 31. So that's it for tonight. This is Lil.
And this is Steven. Until tomorrow night, everybody, keep it creepy.